Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliana and I do videos of all different kinds. Some kind of lifestyle content, sometimes fitness content, sometimes I just do content for other YouTubers. But today we are sitting down to do what's on my iPhone. I've been on YouTube for like a year and a half now and I have no idea how I haven't done this video yet. I did sit down one time to film it and that was like right before I filmed my new iPhone unboxing video. But once I'd filmed that video and I had a new iPhone, I was like, well, what's the point of talking about this old iPhone I had and what I had on there? So I figured today's the right time to film what I have on my iPhone SE. It's like the 2020 iPhone SE. And I will say I have far less apps on this than I had on my old phone because I think it's like half the storage, but that's probably for the best anyway because I think last time I filmed this took me like a half-hour content, which is brutal to have to cut down. So today I'm hoping to keep this a little bit shorter. But without further ado, let's get right into the video and I'll show you guys what's on my iPhone right here. So the first page of apps on my phone, like basically everyone else I think, is very boring. Mostly like my standard Apple apps, but I do have a few things that are different, so I will tell you about those ones. First off, I have Transit, which is like, I think it's all over the world, but at least here locally, that's how our bus system shows when the bus is gonna come. But when I used to bus to school, thank you God, I will not have to this year, but when I used to have to bus to school, I used that one to keep track of when the buses were coming. Then I have Wonderground, which is my favorite way to get the weather. I can't stand the Apple app. I hate that. If it's gonna rain for like 2 minutes on Monday, it's gonna say it's a rainy day all day long. Like I like to know what time of day is gonna be sunny, what time is gonna be shitty, so that's why I have Wonderground. And then finally, PayPal is just how I get paid through a few things I do, so I keep that app there to keep track of how much money I have in my account. Now this page is a bit more exciting. First up in the corner, oh, I should say this first. All these apps I have like the little like cloud thing showing that they're not fully downloaded. It's because I don't have that much space, so I like things I don't use it often, I leave like that. Then when I need them and I have Wi-Fi, I download them. So anyway, Sonos is a speaker app. I use it when I'm at work. It's how we control all the music that's going to be playing. And then the Starbucks app, obviously I use when I pick up Starbucks. My favorite drink is a strawberry acai lemonade with half starch lemonade and extra water. Then I have the TD Canada app. Obviously that's my bank, nothing exciting there. And then a folder that I have a little bit more fun with is my photography folder. The first thing in this folder is a little bit embarrassing. I don't know why I still keep this in here, but when I was young and I had my period, I hated having that app like out and about and everyone saw it. So I hid it in this photography app. No one ever asked me what it was once back then, but Clue is an app that I use to track my cycle. Snapseed is one of my favorite apps for doing like the nitty-gritty of photo editing. You can like expand a photo and you can contract a photo, you can do all the cropping, exposure, all that stuff. I like to do all of that pre-editing before I put it into an app for filtering. Next I have Fuji Cam. That's one that makes your photos look like they came out of a film camera. So for example, this picture used to be a plain picture. I added that lens flare to it. I'm not going to post it or anything, but that's just an example of what I can do with that app. PixArt, I don't use it super often. Occasionally I use it to edit. I used to use it to add overlays on videos I used to do on Instagram. I don't use it super often, but I still keep that app around just in case. Next one is the Tezza app, which has a very special place in my heart now. That's how I do most of the filtering on my Instagram photos. By the way, if you're not following me there, at Juliana_Murphy, you definitely should be. But basically the Tezza app is what I think everyone's been using recently to do filtering. Like, I'll show you an example. This is a picture I have on my Instagram right now. This is what it would look like without a filter. This is what the Tezza app says it could be with like the full filter. I usually turn it down about halfway and I post it like that. It just adds a bit more saturation and contrast to the photo really, but it's just a simple preset rather than having to edit it myself. And then last I have Picmonkey. That's an app for editing thumbnails for YouTube. I almost always do that on my computer, but occasionally I'm on the go when I have to make a thumbnail, so I do keep that app around just in case. So the next one is YouTube Studio, and I use that one to interact with you guys. I love YouTube Studio because it alerts me every single time I get a comment, anything I can possibly need to respond to. It keeps me updated on all my analytics, so that is a great app. Next one is Vsco. I really should have that in the photography category, but I use Vsco so often that I like to have it out and about. Mostly, I honestly use Vsco personally just to look at other people's pictures. I don't post on it very often. You guys can follow me if you want though. My name is Jules-Murph. But yeah, I really just use it to browse other people's pictures, not really my own that often, but I do like keeping up with my Vsco feed kinda, so you guys can follow me on there. Next one is LinkedIn. I use that like semi-professionally. I'm in university, so I'm just using it to like keep track of potential places I could work in the future, / keep up with all my friends who are in commerce, because literally everyone who's in commerce has like a major like LinkedIn phase. Next one is T-0. I'm not using that one right now, but I usually use it to set countdowns for things that are coming up, like, you know, a birthday, a special event, a trip. I don't have any set right now, otherwise I would download it to show you guys. Next one is my little game area. You can tell I don't play very many games, but I do have 2048 bricks saved right now. I play that non-stop. I cannot lie, when I'm watching a movie or a TV show, I can't focus on just that. I have to have something going on in like my hand. So I use 2048 bricks to distract me. The rest of these apps are really fun too, though I just don't use them as often. Next one is Planoly. I've recently fallen in love with this. This is for planning out your Instagram feed. So I don't know if I have anything planned right now. This is my entire feed. All the ones with that little like Instagram symbol means I've already posted them. And then the ones that have a U, like this flower, which I haven't decided if I'm gonna post or not, but with that shows what it would look like on your feed once you post it. I don't really like how that one looks with the pictures I have right now. It's a little bit too bright, but it does like make the decision for me rather than having to like envision it myself. All right, next up is YouTube. You guys know what I use that for. And then after that is Clash of Clans. I would be lying if I said I loved that game, but my boyfriend is obsessed with it. So anytime I'm with him and he's just fiddling away on his, I just bring out mine to play with that because meh, whatever. Next one I kind of just use for my fitness type stuff. I use my Fitness Pal on and off to track my macros and my calories. I haven't been using it recently. I probably haven't used it in over a year because I really haven't had any caloric goals, but I am going to be bulking over the next 36 months, so I'm going to get hard back into my Fitness Pal. Next one is Strong, which is an app I am obsessed with. This is my holy grail of the gym. It tracks all of your workouts. So I used to put all my workouts in, and then when I want to go back to that workout, it's already saved as a routine, or I can add things in one by one. It keeps track of all the weights. Last time I did that exercise. I can leave notes for myself. I think I can track my weight in there. It is a holy grail fitness app. I would recommend it to anyone. Next one, Interval Timer. I only use that when I'm doing HIIT. Since I'm going to be bulking soon, I'm going to have no need for it. Thank the Lord. But it's really helpful to just keep track of how long you've been doing an exercise, also like keeping track of your rest times. And then finally, the Good Life app. Good Life is the gym I go to. The app is really shitty, but it does keep my like barcode there, so I don't have to carry around my little like fob thing. I can just scan into the gym using my barcode. Next one, Bitmoji. I could not care less about that app, but if you don't have Bitmoji, you can't change your outfits. So every once in a while I want to change my little Snapchat person, and then I need Bitmoji for that. All right, next one is Social category. I don't know why it's called that, but I guess it just named itself. These are the two apps I keep track of my analytics on Instagram with. When I was a kid, I used these to like obsessively track who unfollowed me, but honestly, I don't care at all about that anymore, so it's not really that relevant. TikTok is the next one. TikTok, you guys know how I love it. If you're not following me, follow me right here on TikTok, please. JULESSMURPH. TikTok holds a very special place in my heart. I'm on TikTok probably the first half an hour and last half an hour of my day every single day. I get addicted at night. Sometimes it's like midnight. I'm like, Juliana, you have to go to bed. You work at 7 a.m. And then I'm just like scrolling through TikTok as if my life depended on it. Next one down here, I called it lifestyle. I would have called it food. I have Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes, which is how I order food when I need food come to my house. Tim Hortons, which I actually only really use to scan my rewards card. And then the Dairy Queen app I use to keep track of what the daily deals are, because my boyfriend and I love going when it's like 2-for-1 blizzards or something. So we do occasionally hit up the Dairy Queen deals. Next one is Google Home. I only have this app so I can turn on and off the lights in my room. It's really not that useful otherwise, but sometimes my Google stops working and I have to use the app. Next one is Pinterest. I will tell you, I'm not a super Pinteresty girl. I use Pinterest one time every 3 weeks, and that's to look up new nail designs. But the only time I use Pinterest is when I need new nail art ideas. I need like a picture to show the guy who does my nail art, so I use Pinterest to find those pictures. Otherwise, I don't really use Pinterest very much. I assume when I move out and looking at home design things, I'll be much more into Pinterest though. All right, next one is Lululemon. I don't have very many apps for clothing shopping on my phone, just because they take up too much storage and I don't really have space for them. But I do keep Lulu there because I'm kind of obsessed with this pair of joggers right now that I've been wanting to see if they go down in price, so got my eye on that. And we are on to the next page, which means we are drawing to a close. First app is a French-English multi-dictionary, and I know you guys are probably thinking, Juliana, why do you bother keep that? But I had to download it for one class because for one test of the entire year, the teacher insisted we have a multi-dictionary, and then I downloaded the app and it was $10, and I just refused to delete an app that I had to pay for. So it will forever be on my phone. Next one, voice memos. I don't think I have anything important in there. Health app I've never used. Facebook Messenger I use almost exclusively for work conversations. Instagram, you guys know, if you're not following me here, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I do post kind of fun stuff on there from time to time. Next thing, Twitter. I think I've got like 3 followers on Twitter. I barely use it personally, but I love scrolling through other things. I also honestly use it to keep up with the news. I know I'm getting old, it's okay. Next thing is Viewpoint. I'm currently home shopping, so I use Viewpoint to just see what's up in the real estate market. Next one is Gmail, pretty self-explanatory. Snapchat, You guys know what happens on Snapchat. I barely use Snapchat. I literally Snapchat my boyfriend one time a day to keep our streak. TD My Spend, just keep track of my spending. It's actually pretty cool because it divvies up your spending into categories like, you know, food, health and wellness, fitness, clothing, and then it tells you how much money you've spent on those categories, so you can kind of keep track of like where you're wasting money. And then finally, Amazon, what can I say? All the time I'm scrolling through TikTok and it's like, you need this from Amazon. And I go on Amazon to see how much it costs, and it costs too much and I don't buy it, but you gotta have the app if you wanna see it. So that's all the apps on my phone. I went through that a lot faster than I did last time. I swear, I think I had 8 screens of apps on my old phone, which just sounds crazy to me. I prefer having 3 at a maximum so much more, but I had a lot of apps on my old phone. But anyway, you guys, I think that's really everything for this video. Comment down below if you have any questions about the apps I have. Definitely let me know if there's any apps I need that I don't have. I'm always interested in a good app. As always, I appreciate it when you leave video ideas down below, like my video, and I have to say this again, I appreciate every single person who subscribes to me so much. So if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe now. That would mean the world to me. Alrighty, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video.